So this is the center fielder.
Hello,
Tony
everybody. George Bliss at the SSA
Curcio
Broadcast Edit Studios.
leading off. Then
We
we'll have
now
the
throw it over to the
hitter
third base side.
who
We
hit for Mick
continue the game
Balestri,
here
who
with
stayed in the
Geo
ball
on
game,
the
I
third
believe,
base
and then the
camera.
top of the lineup. So this is a pretty big at bat. You need a couple of base runners. You like to feed that top. He swings and he slaps it out. Angelo step in, drifts back. Angelo always did have good hands. That ball carried. I tell you, I don't know if you can see them flags way in the background there. And like we always tell you kids, look at the top of the trees. So you can see that the tree up there is blowing around a little bit. So it seems like anything hit above the tree line here is going to carry a little bit. And there's a fly ball, and Angelo is there for that as well.
Hit me another one.
So I think that was Bob Jones. And here comes Pellegrino. So his first time up, he grounded out to third. Then he tried to pooch a ball toward the right side, and he popped up. So let's see if he goes back to trying to drive the gap like he had been most of the weekend. So Pellegrino beats a ball into the ground for the third out. And we're going to head to the bottom of the fifth, 11-4. Takers trying to force the if game here. And now you can see their dugout is almost completely in the shade. If you're Crush and we have an if game, you're going to have to spend another game looking into the sun. And I tell you, it's not only that it's hot, but even with sunglasses, there's a lot of eye strain when you're looking over in that direction. There's a lot of stuff going the Taker way right here. But the big news in this game is Mickey Balestri re-injuring his thumb, which he had broken years ago. Mickey still got the ice bag on it. I'm sure he's going to try to give it a go if there's an if game. And that'll bring up Mike Marasco, Psycho, having a real nice weekend. I'll tell you a Psycho story. We were playing in a Les Duncan tournament in Highland, Indiana, and it was actually right after 9/11. And Psycho was playing the outfield, and Les used to get the green softballs. So Psycho's playing right field, and balls are getting hit out there on the ground, and he's not even moving. So he comes in. There's a little flare. Steve Koss climbs the ladder right in your living room, makes a great play. So comes in at the end of the half inning, and we ask him, what's going on? You're not even moving. And then he decides to tell us he's colorblind, so once the green ball hits the green grass, he can't see it.
Because I lift my legs when I jump.
So Steve Kuss, another nice play. We saw him volleyball a line drive earlier in the game. Every once in a while, Mike used to show up with there's a ground ball, so Brad just slaps it up the middle. He used to show up with a crazy uniform combination on Mudville. Again, colorblind. So he used to have to like mark his clothes so he knew what the colors were.
You should have known better.
So with one out here, base runner on first, here's the shortstop, Mike. Takers leading 11-4, bottom of the fifth. So the Takers right now, they've subbed some people into the ball game. They're trying to give some people a rest a little bit. They are sitting in the shade, so that's a big, big help when you're trying to do more than... there's a ground ball up the middle. Lou Rizzi gets to force out the Pellegrino, and we got 2 outs in the inning. And here comes Pete Raines with Angelo Alicia in the hole. Pete swings, ground ball off of Atchison, and just gets him. So Atchison, Pete Raines was hustling, little backhanded flip, just gets him. Now Pete actually hesitated at first. Then he tried to kick it in the second gear. Bang, bang, play. Bang, bang, play. And now I think they might be taking Pete Raines out, putting in another outfielder. So again, it's a bang, bang play. Atchison didn't help himself there by doing a very soft backhanded flip. He had a little bit more time. We saw a play in the last game where a guy hit a spinner. Bob Rush Jr. was forced to pitch, and the ball took a crazy bounce. Jr., being left-handed, was able to grab it and throw it left-handed to first. So here's Dave Bradle coming up for Crush, down 11-4 here, top of the sixth. Needless to say, it's getting late. They got 2, 3, 4 coming up, so they needed to get some runs here. You don't want to go into the top of the seventh trailing by potentially 7 or more. So Dave Bradle trying to start something here for the Crush team. Dave swings, hits a line drive just over the shortstop. So we told you, Dave Bradle, one of the best 15 over hitters in the game right now. Was always a good hitter. Never really got the notice that he should have got through his career. I know when I had him that year, I didn't have a leadoff man. I said, Dave, you got to lead off. He says, I'm not a leadoff guy. I said, who told you that? He had a great year. Had Marty Dozen hitting second. Another guy, little spinner by Cuss through the hole. So you see, Cuss has an unorthodox way of hitting. He likes to let the ball get a little deeper on him. And the way he's set up, you see Brad Moriarty thought he was going to hit that ball to his left, and instead he just kind of dragged the barrel through and slapped it through the hole up the middle. So now with 1 out, first and second here for Crush. Actually, I take that back. I don't know if there's anybody out here. So there you go. They just fixed the scoreboard, so there's nobody out. And here's a pinch hitter for Swoop. On deck, Richie Hennessy. So nobody out, 11-4 ball game here in the top of the sixth. Crush trying to mount a rally here to cut into this big lead. And there's a swing and a line drive right at Kenny Flaws. So see Kenny Flaws there. That was a sinking line drive. He stayed in front, kind of smothered it a little bit, and then he collected himself. Again, the base runner can't really go anywhere there because it's a line drive. He had plenty of time, strong throw. And you saw there the shortstop was covering second. He caught the ball, didn't worry about the double play. Again, when you've got a big lead like this, you don't want to throw the ball around. Here comes Richie Hennessy. So with 1 out, 11-4 ball game, first and third here for Crush. So Psycho kind of faking the throw over there. Meanwhile, Kevin Haig is on the cut of the grass. So Psycho flipped one over here. So here's Rich Hennessy. And there's a line drive base hit by Hennessy. That's going to score 1. See the pinch runner gets the third on it. So now it's 11-5 first and third. And here comes Ronnie Risden. He singled his last time up. So 11-5 now. 1 out, top of the sixth. Crush trying to mount a rally here. So Crush, the last couple innings here, is starting to swing the bats a little bit. Again, we always talk about that layover and the effect it has, and we've seen it's a little bit more pronounced with the older guys. There's a ground ball to Mike, over to Durst, and he calls him safe at first. So the umpire is going to send the base runner, I believe, back to first. So again, the takers have been complaining a little bit about out safes the whole game. Takers thought they had a double play and they were out of the inning. Another bang play at first. So there's 2 outs now. So still 2 outs here. We'll check and see if that's the correct score. Kenny Flaws knocks it down, but he can't make the play at second. And here comes Atchison. Came in to pitch after Mickey Bellestri got hurt. I'm not sure if that's the correct score at 11-5. I thought there was a base runner on before that double play started, so it might be 11-6. So the takers really came out hard the first 2 innings. They scored 10. Only scored one time since the second inning. And Crush looks like they're starting to get into the ball game now a little bit. They just changed the board. It is 11-6. I believe on deck is Lou Rizzi, the second baseman. No, I take that back. It's where's Atchison? No, yeah, it is Lou Rizzi. And Atchison hits a line drive. That's going to score another run. And big turn. He hesitates. Bobby Durst hesitated on the throw. If he would have snapped it off right away, I think they would have had him. Just got a toenail in there. Not much of an argument there, but Bobby Durst pump faked there. If he snaps it off right away, it would have been an easy third out there. It's now 11-7 with 2 outs. So Crush, who was down by 10, has cut it to 4 here in the top of the 6th. And they'll bring up the second baseman, Lou Rizzi. So you can see now we got Crush guys no longer sitting on the bench. They're all standing now. So they're kind of woke up here a little bit and they're swinging the bats. If you're the takers, you sub some guys out. But they got to put their offensive hats back on. And Rizzi hits a ball. Oh, Brad Moriarty, great catch up the middle. So Brad Moriarty snags a ball that looked like it was heading to center. But in the inning, 3 runs by Crush. They cut the lead to 4 as we head to the bottom of the 6th. So top of the lineup coming up here for the takers with Angelo Alicia, Bobby Durst, and we'll see Pat Salamone, who came in for junior, Bobby Rush. We'll see if Pat hits a second time. So here comes Angelo, followed by Bobby Durst. These 2 guys have been fantastic all weekend. And right now you got a little bit of momentum on Crush's side. And if you're the takers here, you don't need a ton of runs, but a couple of runs here would sure help because Crush got a little momentum going now. And I believe they're going to have Curio and Bob Jones coming up, and then their top. So if you're the takers, like I say, runs now, bottom of the sixth are big. But Crush looks like they're kind of into the swing of things now after a real slow start. And Angie just punches the ball, and that's going to drop. So Angelo Alicia doing what he does, using the whole field. And here comes Bobby Durst now. And I do see Bob Rush Jr. walking over here, so we'll see if they give Jr. a swing or if Pat Salamone swings. So Bobby Durster, leadoff man on for the Takers. Bottom of the sixth, 11-7 Takers over Crush in the first national championship game of the Bob Rush Sr. And Bobby drives the ball to the gap. That's going to drop, and it skips past. Angelo Alicia is going to jog in. And Bobby Durst now is going to kick it up, and they're going to hold him at third. So Angelo Alicia, we told you, him and Bobby Durst been triggering their offense the whole day. And we get a leadoff single and a triple by Bobby Durst, and now it's 12-7. And Bobby Rush Jr. is going to re-enter the game and take this swing. Again, Jr. doesn't play quite as much as he used to, so been a hot day, so they gave him at-bat off. Again, Jr. Pretty crafty. Again, Junior, good eye there. He took a inside pitch. It was close, but that's way short. So full count here to Bobby Rush Jr., man on third, nobody out. And Junior hits a little chop. That's going to go to Pellegrino. So Bobby Durst got the hold, and that'll bring up Johnny Westermeyer. Now the breeze is picking up. We're facing home plate, and it feels like it's right in our face. And Johnny launches a long fly ball. That's going to score the run, no problem. So Johnny Westermeyer makes sure that'll make the score 13-7. So the Takers did what they had to do with their top here. After Crush close to 11-7, they've pushed a couple across to go up 13-7 here in the bottom of the sixth. So again, we talk about late runs and the effect it has on you. So those were two pretty big runs. Now you go from 4 to 6, which means the base is loaded. And Kevin Haig hits a ball. Risden gets a hit on it. Kevin Haig will get the first. And Johnny Westermeyer, who just hit the sac fly, is going to go run. And here comes Kenny Flaws. So again, we'll see if there's an if game, if Mickey Balestri is going to give it a go and try to play. He's been ice on the hand since the leadoff batter for the Takers, Angelo Alicia, banged the ball off of his thumb, which Mickey had broken a few years ago. Kenny hits a ground ball. Ronnie Risden picks it up. He'll throw across. So we're going to head to the top of the seventh, 13-7. Takers trying to force the if game, leading Crush. Crush won the winner's bracket. They beat the Takers 12-10 in a game where Crush jumped out big and then held on at the end when the Takers had the tying runs on base. when the game ended. So the leadoff hitter will be Curio, the center field, followed by the Bob Jones, and then the top. So Crush needs to have their bottom feed the top here. So you're up 6 there if you're the takers. You're just trying to play solid defense. You're not trying to do anything kooky. And conversely, if you're Brad, you want to throw strikes and make them swing to get on. And Curio swings, hits a foul ball, and that ball's going to land right in front of the Iron Horse security banner. Again, folks, if you didn't get a chance, we listed our corporate sponsors and partners on the Facebook page. Scroll down there and take a good look at those names. And if you get a chance, whether it's one of the bars or restaurants or, Ray Zarnick in Napleton, you need a mortgage, you go see Matt Dozen. If you've got a driveway or something, you need asphalt, seal right. And there's a line drive, and Kenny Flaws will make the catch. Need a limo signature if you need some storage, Chicago Ridge Storage. Room for kids if you're looking for furniture. Lucky's, Magoo's, Lawler's, Bernie's Tap. If you're looking to go out and have a cocktail and enjoy yourself. If you need some cleaning and maintenance, A+. Parlor Pizza. If you're looking to get into the trades, give the Elevators Union Local 2 a call. If you're up in Wheeling, go to Market Square Restaurant. They really were big during the major national tournament. And, of course, the Courier Group if you're looking for logistic services. And there's a line drive. Kevin Haig can't make the play. So Johnny Pellegrino gets a hit. I believe that's his first hit of the game. And that'll bring up Dave Bradle. So with 2 outs, top of the 7th, Taker's looking for one more out here to force the if game. And we will click off between games. In between games, I'm sure, there'll be a little break in between. And Bradle swings, he just keeps hitting. Johnny's going to jog the third. Again, if you're the Takers, you're just going to throw the ball in here. Chasing that third out.
Come on now, pick me up. 2 outs.
So some of the Taker guys giving Pat Caputo the business about trying to get camera time. So here's Steve Cuss. 2 outs, top of the 7th, 13-7 Takers. Crushed down to their last out here in this ball game. And that ball's a little short. So again, in these situations, when you're up 6, sometimes your defense, they don't appreciate the extra balls. But Steve Cuss is doing the right thing here. He's not afraid to hit with 2 strikes, and they need a ton of base runners. So Steve gets the walk, and that'll push it to the big lefty. Came in to hit for swoop and hit a 3-run homer in the middle of that 4-run inning there with 2 outs. Ball took a high bounce. And he swings and he hits a hard ball down that right field line. That's going to score 2. And Lou Rizzi's going to stop at third. So we got a 13-9 ball game. So now Pat Caputo going to slow the game down here with Rich Hennessy coming up. So you're up 4 runs. Even if Hennessy hits a 3-run homer, you still got a 1-run lead. You'd rather not see it, but Patty just slowing the game down here, trying to break a little bit of the momentum. I think he's trying to tell Brad what hole he wants him to get into, trying to encourage him to be set after he releases the ball. Sometimes pitchers have a tendency to throw and they're moving in one direction or the other. Richie's been known to just kind of try to pound the ball through that pitcher hole. And you see Kenny Flaws is deep and over, so there is kind of a big hole there. I think Pat wants him to get into that hole. So he starts off with a strike here, 13-9. So Crush trying to put a scare into the takers, much like the takers did in the championship game of the winner's bracket when they came from behind with a pretty big inning. So you see Brad there trying to change the angle. He jumped way over to this side on that pitch. And so Richie Hennessy took a big step, did not swing, and they picked the runner off at first. So there is going to be an if game. There is going to be an if game, folks. So we're going to click off right now. Takers win 13-9. The game ends on a pickoff at first base, and we'll be back in a few minutes.